Hi everybody, it's Tatiana and today I'm doing a book review and I just got irritated because my battery indicator went off on my camera. We're going to see how much of this I can get done before this battery dies. Today I am reviewing The Good House by Tanana Reeve-Dew, which is the first novel that I read by Tanana Reeve-Dew all the way back in 2003. However, I just reread this in the month of November as an audiobook, and it was narrated or read by Robin Miles, and let me tell you, it was awesome. It was a great audiobook experience. The Good House follows the story of Angela Toussaint and her familial history as well as her present life surrounding this house in Sacagawea, Washington, that is known to all of those who live in the area as the Good House. And it gives you some history about the house, about the previous inhabitants, as well as her grandmother, mother, and some of the things that have taken place in Sacagawea over the years, including demonic possession. Oh yeah. This was, like I said, the first novel that I read by Tanana Reeve-Dew. The reason why I ended up reading this novel is because of the wonderful manager at the time at Walden Books. And I walked into Walden Books one Sunday and she had just gotten this in and put it on the shelf, and she pulled it out and said that I needed to buy it because she read it and she thought that it would be that I would really enjoy it. This was the first paranormal book that I read, paranormal horror story that I read in years, since probably reading the Amityville Horror and then the Christopher Pike books and I didn't read Goosebumps. Nightmare on Elm Street or 13th Street, whatever it was, the Frightmare on 13th Street. Was that Christopher Pike or whatever the other guy was? I'm totally spacing on his name. Okay, I'm sucking at this right now. But outside of reading those when I was a kid and in middle and high school, around my 9th or 10th grade year, my reading totally switched over to primarily romance novels. And so this was the first novel outside of Harry Potter that I read as an adult that was a horror, paranormal, historical fiction type of book. And I absolutely loved it when I read it in 2003. I did get a little bit confused because it goes back and forth between Angela's grandmother's time, which is like 1929, an event that happens in the house in 2001, and then the present day, which when the novel is written is 2003. So it goes back and forth, and so sometimes I got a little bit confused as I was reading it. Again, it was my first time reading a novel of this nature. Reading it as an audiobook was a great experience, and it got a lot of things cleared up for me that I was still uncertain about, because I had planned to reread this in print at some point just to clarify some things that I didn't understand or couldn't remember how it got to what the end of the story was. And so when I saw it at the library, I went ahead and picked it up because I had a road trip, and it was one of the better rereading experiences that I have had in a while. There's so much that goes into the novel. The way that the landscape is described, you can see it in your head. There's so much that goes into the description because it's such a huge part of the novel, and nothing seems overdone. There's nothing that is given that's wasted page or wasted space or just, over embellished wording. Everything that's put into this novel fits just so. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it the first time, but rereading it again and getting so many details clarified in my mind, and like having the tone of, the tone for Tariq and the tone for the demonic spirit that is possessing people, and just the ominousness of it. Because when I read a horror novel, I'm so excited and into it that a lot of times I start speed reading and reading really fast so that I can hurry up and get to what's going to happen, because I know that shit's about to hit the fan and I just can't wait. I have said before, I hate suspense. I am forced to go through that suspense by reading it as an audiobook, and that just made it all the more creepy. Rereading this book as an audiobook had me gripping my steering wheel. If I were lighter skinned, my knuckles would have been white. It's just forcing myself to go through that suspense and waiting for what's going to happen, even though I knew what was going to happen, but all of the detail of getting up to that point with each situation that occurred, oh my gosh, it was great. If you are looking for an audiobook to read, gosh, give this a go. It's like 20 something hours. I think it's 22 hours or something like that. It's not wasted time. Do something while you wash dishes, vacuum, do something while you're doing it. Walk, I don't know, I don't care. Drive, do something. It's absolutely worth it. I cannot rave enough about this, and I really can't continue to rave because I'm going to say something that would be a spoiler, and I don't want to do that, but it's awesome. 5 stars still. And that's all that I'm going to say about that. So I hope you all have a good weekend, whenever you see this video. Peace out.